So, good day, everyone. My name is Turan, and I am the part of SEG-WN Network, student chapter. And today with us is Dorothy Kanini. So, she is our SEG, the part of the SEG-WN Network. And please, Mrs. Dorothy, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Dorothy Kanini Mwanzia, as Turan said. I am a student here at Colorado School of Mines doing a PhD in geophysics. I have like 5 years of experience in geoscience industry, and I've been teaching at the university for 2 years. So I have both experiences of working in the industry and working in academia. So that's what I was doing before I joined School of Mines to continue with my studies.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Dorothy. So I will start with the questions from my side. And so if someone will have any questions, you can drop down them in the chat and Miss Dorothy will answer them. So the first question from my side will be, can you talk about your decision why you have chosen to be the geoscientist? Was it your choice or maybe some advice from the family or the friend?
Oh, I decided to be a geoscientist, I think, long ago when I was young. I think I was in grade 7. What happened in my village did not have a lot of service water, and my father wanted to have a borehole. So he tried to kind of dig a borehole, and it produced some water, and that water was being used by the people from the community. But after like 2 years, 1 or 2 years, the well dried up. And I was so upset that my dad really used a lot of money and a lot of his time to kind of try and get water for the people in the community, and it ended up drying. And then I told him, when I grow up, I want to go and study and find out if there's a way we can be able to get water that can sustain our family and our community. And when I went to high school, I kept on asking my teachers, like, what can I do to be able to drill water at home? Is there a subject that is related to this kind of work? And my teachers told me, you need to study science. And I could not figure out what kind of science. So when I went to I did my best, and I went to the university, and I got to do a BSc in physics because I wanted to study geoscience related things. And that's how I could end up doing something close to understanding the groundwater science. And when I was in my 3rd year in campus, I participated in SEG field camp. And it was about mapping groundwater potential zones in an area close to the village where I come from, because it's one of the places where there is water challenges. So yeah, that was my first experience. So when I finished my degree, I got to work as an accountant because I had some accounting skills. So I did some accounting course, a professional course at the same time when I was doing my degree. So, and I worked as an accountant for 6 months, and I was doing really well, but I felt like that's not where my passion was. I needed to do something related to exploration. And then I resigned the accounting job and I went back to pursue my master's. And that's how I realized this is where I belong. So yeah, that's my short story.
That's really interesting and motivated story, Miss Dorothy. Thank you so So Elvira is writing in the chat, sends her hello to you, to us. So yeah, from my side again, the question that you were the part of the different societies. Can you tell us a bit about your experience and why you decided to be involved in them?
Yeah, I've been part of different societies, with the SEG being the main one. And I decided to be part of SEG because that was the first society that I joined when I wanted to get to learn more about the geoscience field. That was the first encounter that I had with groundwater exploration, because the field camp that I attended in 2012 was sponsored by SEG. And I felt like I could learn more, and I could still give back by teaching other students and letting know about the SEG and the opportunities available for students. So, yeah, that's pretty much what encouraged me to join SEG. I've also been part of the Society of Women in Geoscience in my country, because I felt like I needed to be motivated to kind of pursue my career, and I needed to be around people who identify with the same problem as I do. Like, being a woman in geoscience industry, I needed to get mentorship. And that's why I decided to be in all these professional organizations, so that I can get that mentorship that I felt like I needed as I was growing up, and as I was advancing in my career.
Yeah, also during the university years, students really need a support from the side, and different societies really helps. I mean, I just graduated in the summer of 2021, and all that ACG and also the SPD to me, that really means so much. So I just wanted to ask about more about your experience with ACG Field Camp. What have you done there? What was the the aim and etc.
Okay, with SCG Field Camp, I have participated in, I think, 5 different SCG field camps in the past. Two were international field school events in South Africa, and 4 were in my country, that is in Kenya. So the first 2 that I participated in Kenya, I participated as a student. The first one was the first encounter, and then the second one was when I was carrying out my research for my master's. And I felt like it was important for other students to also be able to benefit the way I did benefit. And I took an initiative of leading the SCG local chapter in my university, and apply for the SCG grants, and lead field school events, and bring different professionals in the field school to kind of educate other students about how to apply geophysical methods in solving real life problems in our communities. Yeah, and another thing that was really motivating me to keep on participating in these field camps was I really wanted to have the confidence when I am analyzing the geophysical data, and when I'm interpreting it, and even when I am kind of presenting anything related to my research findings. And the only way I could get that opportunity is always participating in SCG Field Camp. You know, you have funds, we are sponsored, and there are lecturers and staff who are willing to teach students for free. So it was always the best time for me. And also when I learned, it was also the best time for me to practice by teaching other people. And I took I wanted to have different skill sets, and that's why I wanted to. That's why I applied to attend for the field school in South Africa 2 times. I went there as a student and also as an instructor again. So I was able to understand both sides, how it is to be a student and how the experience is to also be on the instructing side.
Sorry. So, Miss Dorothy, I was wondering what advices you can give to students when they're applying to the ACG field camp. So, a bit about that part.
Okay, like what the advice I can give is, student, you need to have a defined problem that you want to solve. And there's so many people who can help students with the putting together the field camp application. So as I always say to students, I'm always available. You can reach out to me. I think my email is public. When you search on School of Mines and search for my name, you see my email. Just shoot me an email. We can have a chat and I can guide you on how to navigate through the application process. But you need to have a problem that you want to solve in the community. You need to discuss about it with your faculty advisor, and there is a procedure, there's a template that you need to follow when you are making the SEG field camp application. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope students that are here with us today will listen to your advices. We have, by the way, question from Elvira. She's asking about how did you manage to adapt from an accountant to be a geophysicist, since they're really a different world.
Oh, nice question, Alvira. The reason why I did accounting first, I did the professional accounting packages, is because I envisioned myself running my own company in the future. And I wanted to be able to understand what goes on in the finance department when I am a geoscientist. I wasn't doing accounting because I wanted to be an accountant. I just wanted to have an understanding of what exactly the accountants do with the company's money, how they do the auditing. And in case I don't have an accountant, can I be able to figure out how the finance department is performing, And that's why I took the accounting packages. So when I got the job because that was the only job that was available. There was no job for a geoscientist. And I still had the skills for accounting. So it was kind of a plan B. So my plan A was always being a geoscientist and being able to employ myself and understand what's happening in the finance department. So it was easy for me to kind of say, after all, my plan was not to become an accountant. It was just to have that skill set to kind of help me run my geoscience related business things. Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Dorothy. So let's switch a bit to the your master's degree, Colorado School of Mines. Again, about advices. So I think most of our SEG Women Network females, girls, they're will apply to the master. So what advice you can give to them? I mean, regarding the, let's say, motivational letter and etc. What to focus on?
Okay, what to focus on when you are writing the statement of purpose? You need to be clear on what exactly you want to do and be conversant or try to do your own research about that institution to see what exactly they are doing in the line of what you want to pursue. Try to present yourself like somebody who is interested and who really understand what's going on and the goal of the research group that you want to join, and try to show how you're competent or how you are gonna be able to integrate and help the research group achieve their goals. Because when you join a research group, you want to be able to kind of have an idea of what's going on. And when you're applying to a professor, they want to see that you have an idea of what they are doing and you kind of passionate, because when you are applying for grad school, it's because you desire knowledge, right? You want to improve yourself, and at the same time you want to kind of contribute in helping the organization or the research group achieve their goals. Yeah, it's a win-win situation. You win, the research group wins. So come up with ways, devise ways of how to make this win-win situation happen. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I think if someone will wait and search for the advices, so they can reach you to ask to, I mean, to what to do and some advices.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I reached out to many students when I was applying for my grad school, and I've been attending the SEG annual meetings like for a while, and every time that I attended these meetings, I got to interact with students who are in grad school, and I reached out to all these students, and I was like, I am applying to this school. I need your advice. How do you people figure out things? What am I supposed to do? And I had the passion and I was interested in what I was going to apply for in the institution. So I got all this advice from all the students. I wrote the statement of purpose, discussed it with them. They asked me questions. I had to go through the publications that have been published by the research group that I wanted to join to see what they're doing and to be able to kind of envision what vision they have and what is their purpose, like why are they existing as a research group in the first place, and what's going to be my role, what part am I going to play when I join the research group. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Dorothy. Let's switch to the interesting question. How was your experience combining your professional and personal life, and how did you deal with the difficulties?
Yeah, it's slightly difficult combining social life and the school work, but it's possible. Yeah, because you kind of need to have a schedule. And what I did was kind of try to reduce some of the things that I figured out that they were kind of unnecessary, and try to prioritize things that I thought they were necessary in my life. So yeah, I was able to kind of prioritize my social life and at the same time try to make a difference in my school life. So I don't know if I'm answering that question, but this, when you have your time schedule and everything figured out the right way, then you can navigate having social life and school life. Although sometimes I kind of feel like I'm stealing time from my schoolwork because when you are in grad school, every time you want to use it to study something, because you're not gonna be forever in grad school, right? It's just gonna be for a few years, and then you can have your social life back. So you kind of have to try and strike a balance between the two, and also have it in mind that grad school is for a while and you can have social life for a long time. So you kind of try to give more time to your professional or to your academic work. But when I was working as a professional, then I could have that balance. I could have my weekends for myself and do social stuff. But now transitioning to academia and being a PhD student, I when I joined the school initially, I was like, I'm not gonna be working past 8 p.m. Then I said, okay, maybe I can push it to 10 p.m. And then I said, okay, maybe I can also try and see if on weekends I can just do one thing and try to relax. Yeah, and sometimes you find yourself working past working hours, but because you're interested, you want to do something, and you're not kind of having it rough, you just having that personal drive, because this moment is for a while, and then you're gonna have all the time to do social related things. Yeah.
Yeah, the first, let's say, freshman, sophomore, and junior year, it's a bit easy, but the last year, senior, when you have to deal with your thesis, time management is really good thing. So yeah, I understand that part. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have this strategy when I wake up, like before I sleep, I kind of have a list of the things that I want to achieve the following day. And you have timelines, you see, like during this time, I'm going to be doing this. And you can have the whole day packed, even including time for kind of taking lunch. You still have it in the program, you can, because everything needs to be done and there's not much time, and you got to schedule and use your time well. So one thing that I really learned when I joined grad school was time management. I didn't know how to manage time well before joining grad school, and I learned through experience how to kind of account for every minute, because every minute is important in grad school.
Yeah, Miss Doris, yeah, I am agree with all your words. So yeah, thank you. So let's switch to the junior geoscientists. What soft skills and hard skills do you consider that are important to the junior geoscientist to develop?
Okay, I think I'll start with the hard skills. The hard skills, you need to be able to learn the technical aspects related to your field of study. Like, what are other professionals doing? You need to be aware of, if it's a specific method, what are some of the approaches that different professionals are deploying to achieve that, and be able to discern like which one is the best, and just kind of being curious about knowing all this, and also understanding what goes on behind everything that you see in all these technologies, and also programs. If it's a software, you need to understand what kind of program is running, like what is this program doing for this software to bring out these images. And you can do that using the theoretical knowledge and also programming language, and understand what these softwares do, because I see most of the students, they just kind of rely on softwares. Yeah, you put the data, and then the program which is inbuilt in that software kind of processes the data and brings out a display of what that data is. And if you don't know what exactly is happening behind all this, then you'll not be able to know when your data is rubbish or when you're getting something that is not correct. So you need to understand what's going on and for you to get what you're seeing on the display of the softwares. That's one of the things that I would say. And also you need to develop a skill like you need to be able to do the experiments, going to the lab, using rocks, saturating them with different fluids, trying to understand how the rock properties are changing with under different conditions. I don't know how to refer to that skill. Yeah, but it's a very important skill. And also being able to go out in the field, collect data and good data, and use different methods to process that data. So that's what I can say about the hard skills. The soft skills is you need to be good in public speaking because you're gonna need to present your findings and also persuade your audience and convince them why it is important for this research to be done and why is it important for us to see your research findings. What difference does your research make in the science community? You need to be able to explain all that. And also you need to have listening skills because as a student, we don't know a lot of things. And most of the time we kind of pay attention and learn from other professionals. And then you can utilize that knowledge that you learn. So, and if you don't have good listening skills, then some things can skip your ears. So you need to develop that. And creative. You need to be very creative in your thinking and also be a problem solver. I am not a fan of complaining because I always believe that there's a solution for every problem that we encounter, and also be able to utilize the available resources to solve your problems. Yeah, most of the time we say that resources can be entrance to achieving our goals, but there's always a way of making use of what's available. Look around you, see what can I do using what I have, and how can I get more resources to help me. There's also some ways of getting more resources, but the most important thing is to be able to utilize what's really available. And then another key soft skill that really people need to know is programming. You need to learn a lot about Python, MATLAB, Julia, all these programming languages. They are very key in the scientific community, and especially as a student and in grad school, you kind of do a lot of work related to programming. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. When I was talking to my brother, I just started my university. He said to me that in several years, the programming will be like the English, the second language. So yeah, you students really should to learn the Python and MATLAB and etc. So that's really important, let's say. Yeah. So thank you, Miss Dorothy, for all your advices. Even me, I mean, I'm just start working, and I will listen to them and follow them.
Sure.
Thank you. Regarding the women in leadership, so how do you see women in leadership, and what do you think that women will bring to the leadership roles?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Women play a very important key role in leadership in every organization, in every institution. One thing that a woman as a leader will have is that nurturing skill. You know, as a woman, when you are in a leadership position, you kind of understand what it means to be in the junior section and also to be in the leadership and also to be in the management. And you know the kind of handles which are there in that space, because women don't get leadership positions easily. They have to go through processes. And when they get into these leadership positions, they know what other people who are under or are working under them or working under their leadership are going through. And what they want to do is to nurture them, at the same time try to achieve the goal for the organization, you know. And when you are under a woman who is a leader, or when you're working under a woman, you kind of even grow in your personal life, because they kind of encourage you and you kind of identify with the struggles, you know. And they try to bring out the picture that what you're going through is something that I've gone through, and you can do it. And you can, the other good thing is when you're dealing with a woman as a leader is that you can share with them your fears about your role in the organization, and they will totally understand, because those are some of the things they have gone through. Sometimes you can be given a duty to kind of play, and you don't know how to go about it. And the good thing is, when a woman is in leadership, any gender can approach her, you know, and share their struggles, and without fear of being judged or feeling intimidated, like, oh, she will think, why don't I know this? She will kind of identify with the situation and know, it's okay not to know, but you can figure it out. You can know this. It is doable. So that nurturing aspect of women when they are in leadership is what I admire the most. Yeah.
Yeah, women are really supportive, let's say, uh, persons. And even during my university years, I faced more support from the women's side rather than the men's side. So, yeah, I mean, it has the future. Yeah,
Yeah.
women in the leadership. Yeah. And yeah, so Miss Dorothy, how was your experience reaching the leadership positions, and what career tips you can give to the students and the young professionals to follow in your steps?
Yeah, there's a curve in leadership. You just don't start being a leader. And what I can say, for me, I had no plan of becoming a leader or leading an institution initially, but I had that personal drive of getting things done, you know. And I kind of, because I have the listening skills and I pay attention to what is around me, I'm able to figure out the problems which I can see around me, and also think, what are the solutions? And the desire to help other students kind of encouraged me and compelled me to take the leadership roles and do my best to kind of make a difference in other students' life. And also, having gotten the opportunities from SEG, from Africa Ray Field School in South Africa, and having participated in all these programs, made me feel like I want other students to also have a similar experience. Although it's not gonna be the same, but they're gonna have something close to what I've gotten before. And that's why I took the initiative of leading different projects, because I have been lucky, or I've been privileged to get all these opportunities. And so I want other people to have the same experience. And through doing all that, it's what got me into leadership roles. And I really wanted to kind of achieve everything that I thought about. You know, in 2020, when COVID happened, I thought to myself, what impact can I make during this period? I know all the students are at home, but there's internet, there's Zoom, and everything is virtual. And I said, I have a good network of professionals that I've made in the geoscience community. So I can reach out to them and ask them to share what research fields they are working on, what research problems they are solving in their respective research groups. And I wrote emails to a number of professionals in different parts of the world. And they responded, and we put together a conference. And other students were able to interact with these professionals that I had interacted with before. And they were able to know what other people are working on in the geoscience field. These are the things that I had experienced when I was attending the SEG. I could go through the posters, presentation. I attended all the presentations in the seminar rooms, and I felt like the geoscience field is so wide. There's so many research fields that we can get involved in. And when I went back to my country, and this time for COVID, I realized that not so many students have such an experience. And that's the thing that I wanted to bring home through simple way of just having a virtual conference where all these professionals will share their path or what is going on in their respective institutions. So yeah, that's one thing that makes me be in the leadership and want everyone. And also I want also to nurture other people to be in the leadership positions. I don't want to be the leader all the time. So even when I'm doing a project, although it appears like I am the leader, I want others to take the leadership roles. So I encourage everyone, you can do this, lead this part. And I kind of see the overall thing. And that's what makes you a leader. Another thing is being able to kind of do everything that the executive team that you're leading is supposed to do. When you are nurturing your leadership skills, you'll have a lot of problems with leading and also having grounds in the leadership. So when you start a project and you see others are not doing it, you kind of take the things at hand. Do everything that you can be able to start and finish on your own. So even if no one else participates. So the moment you're able to start a project and then finish it, start another one and finish it, other people will join you. They will see the leadership in you. And I think that's the main thing that I have experienced in my leadership. Whenever I started a project, I want to understand, can I finish it on my own without help from anyone else? Yeah. And even if you get help from somebody else, then you kind of have suggestions on how these aspects need to be done. And you get things done. Because if you start a project and you can't finish it on your own, you rely on other people. As a leader, there's a chance of not accomplishing that, right? So you have to be able to figure out every aspect of the project that you're leading. So you kind of be an overall leader. You have to have knowledge for every aspect of the project that you're doing. That's the difficult part for being a leader that I have.
Yes, also from my side, I want to add again, being the part of societies also helps you to learn more about the leadership. Even if take myself at my freshman year, I was a really shy person. I was afraid to give the presentation for my classmates, for example. So yeah, being the part of ACG and learning and opening yourself to the people also helped me. I hope most of the people to open themselves and to start to understand what is the leadership and try to be a leader. So yeah. Yeah. From my side, that will be the last question. So, which areas within geosciences do you consider to be the most relevant and have more opportunities this day?
Okay. What areas? I think are areas in geoscience that I have had an opportunity to kind of see and interact with. They have opportunities. There's so many opportunities in the gas industry. The opportunities in geothermal industry, geotechnical industry. There's a wide field of study in geoscience. It all depends with what one is passionate about. Like for me, before I joined my PhD studies, I was running my company where I was doing groundwater exploration, and I was also applying geophysical methods to do geotechnical surveys. And I thought, yeah, I can use geophysical knowledge to do carbon capture and sequestration related projects. And I expanded. I thought I can go to Colorado School of Mines and take my PhD in CCUS. And that's why I come here. And there's also geothermal. When you look around you and you're, as a student, what industry do you want to work in? You know, and pay attention to what's going on in that industry. I think all the industries where the geophysical methods are applicable, one can make a change. It all needs to have somebody who has outstanding skills and who is creative and who can utilize the skills gained from understanding the geophysical methods to make a difference in life. All we want to do when we are gaining all this knowledge in geoscience is to be able to utilize that knowledge and apply it in solving the community problems or real life problems that we are experiencing. And there are problems in most of the industries where geoscience or geophysical methods are applicable in. So yeah, that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, even when I was applying for the bachelor degree for the geophysical engineering, I before I asked my dad like what you will suggest to me. He said go to the geophysics because geophysics is really wide. You can apply it in hydrogeology, in mineralization, in the oil and gas sphere, and etc. So really, I am really happy that I followed the advice of my dad, and now I am the geophysical engineer. So yeah, that's for from my part.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
important. You need to just have the fundamental knowledge, and you can apply that in every field. Because if you have the knowledge of analyzing, let's say, a formation. You can understand formations well. Then in oil and gas, you need to understand formations, right? In geothermal, you need to understand formations. In groundwater exploration, you need to be able to understand what kind of formations do you have in the subsurface. Yeah, so it cuts across all the industries. Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Miss Dorothy. So, if there are no any other questions from the side of the public, I would like to really thank you for being with us today and dedicate your time to us. And I know that you are the person, the woman that really motivate the other students and the young professionals, because I think we know each other for 1 year or for 1.5 year. And when I just started to be the part of the ACG Women Network, uh, when you showed me everything that at the meetings and etc., I understand that you're the person that always will support the others and always will help. So from my side and from the side of the students, from the side of the SEG Women Network, I want to really thank you for being you for being you and for help. So yes, thank you so much, Miss Dorothy, for your time, for your dedication to the SEG Women Network and to the SEG overall. So really, really thank you from the bottom of the heart.
Thank you so much, Ran, for having me here. The last thing that I can say is that consistency is the key. And breaking down your goals to smaller goals which are achievable is also another important key thing in making it in the academia and in the professional industry, that is. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Dorothy. Have a nice day and have a nice weekend ahead. So thank you
You,
so much for your time. Yeah,
you too.
and
Thank you.
thank you so, and thanks for the public for being with us today. So have a
Okay.
nice day. Have a
You
nice day.
too. Bye bye.
Bye, Miss. Bye, bye.